So for the people aspiring and current, right, that have a craft that they basically can do with their eyes closed, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you could cut hair with your eyes closed. You
Mm-hmm.
have people that's contractors that can do pretty much anything. How well? What did getting a license do for your career? Because a lot of people would avoid getting whatever certification is required for that trade
Mm-hmm.
because they're so good at it
Yeah, you
and they
feel
know
like they
they can
don't
make
need it.
money. They feel
Yeah.
like they don't need it. But tell me about what that did for you.
Uh, that's just solidified me as a legit company, looking at myself as a company, as a business, as myself, my own entity. Um, I'm a strong believer in uh, getting a license, taxes, having that structure for yourself and treating yourself as a business. That's a huge plus.
And where did you learn that? That's been from day one.
That had not, I haven't, that wasn't from day one. That was something I had to learn, like going through the loops of being on my own, being my own business owner, having others depend on me. That came with that. But I did have sort of a little sense of, you know, building that structure from meeting Jerome. It just was so early in our relationship. I hadn't learned everything, but for the most part, yeah, it solidified a lot. And I urge, like, if you do have that talent, man, get those licenses. Get those licenses. Be all the way legit in everything that you do.
Because what are you missing out on, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. No,
Right.
I'm asking. So for a barber
that doesn't have his license?
right, for a barber, for a contract, even for artists.
First,
right?
you can't even work here if you don't have your license. If your paperwork ain't straight, I don't. And there's some people that do, but for the most part, like that's just something that we can't overlook. Cause I could get fined for that. It's different. It's just not worth it. Just not to half-ass it. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I get it, no problem. And why barbering? So you could have did something else, and barbering could have sustained you to do something else. Why full-time barber?
I loved it. I had an uncle that was a barber.
Okay.
And that was my favorite uncle, my
Yeah.
Uncle Eddie.
Yeah.
And just that feel, I remember my dad, myself, and my brother every Saturday morning at the barber shop uptown. And I just loved being there. And then from there, I mean, we talking about maybe 10, 11, something like that. So from that point, we go to, I can remember in my school books in social studies class, like there was a picture of like a president or old historian member. I can remember myself doodling, fixing his hairline, or doodling, drawing the hair in the book.
Yeah.
I can remember being young and my dad teaching me how to cut grass, like edging the yard, like that being my favorite part. Like precision details to me was key, along with having that passion, for wanting to follow my uncle. So, he gave me a pair of clippers one day when I was like 12, and it's been on ever since then. So I just took what I love, what I had a passion for, and just took my, my eagerness and my drive and my unhappiness for where I was at in my life, and just combined them together and just blasted off.
And how much power does doing your passion on a daily basis give you to overcome the natural entrepreneurial challenges?
Being an entrepreneur is going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy. And having that passion for what you're doing, it just makes it easy. I can do what I do for free because I love to do it.
Right.
That's just how I feed my family. That's how but that carries you a long way. That can go a long way. It's going to be days when you feel like giving up and quitting.
Right.
But
So
just
you thought about getting a job?
Well, yeah, but it was like, what else? My dad wanted me to come work offshore with him.
How long ago we talking?
We talking, man, I went 6-7 months without work and having a family and kids because I knew like that wasn't it for me. But I mean, the regular Joe Blow probably would have took that. My dad is an engineer. Like I could have went and made $100,000. I was like, nah, that's not me. So yeah, having that passion, I mean, it wouldn't go away. Like, it'll carry you a long way.
So, for the person in the same position that just took the leap and you say it took you 7-8 months before you made cash, right now, they're in that first 30 days and they panicking because no cash coming in. What home life look like? Because you was having direct deposits, hitting checks coming in, and now
you go from nothing.
We ripping pages off the calendar.
Right.
So now what home life look like?
Right. At that point, it's tough. I'm not gonna lie, like, it's tough, but the passion just kept me going. Like, I saw greater. Like, when I met Jerome, the whole system of, you know, his system of cutting hair, treating it like a business, I saw it. Like, I saw his vision. Like, I always had that vision and never thought that vision would be in my area, in my radius.
What was different about it versus
for instance,
other barbershops?
For instance, you go and walk in a barbershop, you sit down, you wait, you pay. At this time, we're talking 2012. So you're gonna pay what? How much you think it is around that time? 20 bucks?
2012? Yeah, that's when
about 20
we
bucks
felt
for
like
man.
It started getting ridiculous. So I was
at
paying
20,
probably
right?
like 20, 25.
All right, so when I met him, he was like, man, you know, when we start off at 30, our services start off at 30. It's 2012. He's like, man, you do one client an hour. You work 8 hours a day, how much is that? It's $240. So at the time, I'm driving trucks. I'm making $200 a day to take out taxes. So I'm bringing home, what, $120 a day? So it's like,
on top of the toll on your body, the time away, not feeling value.
Right. And on top of, like, being in control of your own destiny. Like, dressing how I want to dress. You know, we wore suits and ties and vests. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we dress for the position that we wanted. And excuse me today, like, I'm comfortable today, but yeah, that's what we did. So that whole structure, like, being exposed to that, that was everything.
Yeah, that's good. So that was a formal or informal mentor-mentee relationship that put you in position. So how could somebody position themselves with a Jerome in their industry?
We have Instagram. We have all different types of social media platforms where you can actually be in arm's reach to somebody that you may want to inspire you. So I would just say, find a mentor or somebody that you can mirror, shadow, and do that. Just take it, you know, it might be, you might take a pay cut, you know, from your job, but in the end, it will be worth it to you.
Right. So strategically networking, I've heard to make sure that you at least are adding value to the other person, so that way them teaching you what they know, cutting that learning curve for you, it's a mutual exchange, right? So
Exactly.
what value was it that you brought to Jerome for him to give you that opportunity and teach you a new way of the culture?
It was a lot of value. I felt that he get the greatest value in becoming, his goal at the time was to be a barber instructor. So the more apprentice that he have that does great, that graduates, that looks good on his part as being a barber instructor or being an instructor of a school. And not only that, like, personally, like, I mean, I would get a great value of seeing someone that shadowed me do well to reach their full potential. For me, that would be my greatest value that I would say for me. But for him, yeah, that's what I would say, you know, that along with bringing in new, fresh eyes. At the time, I was the youngest to work there, so, you know, I'm coming with all of the newest equipment, and you know, I'm gauged in Instagram and Facebook, and these guys are the older, so they're not really on that hard. But I mean, they're there, but my presence was larger. So we learned a lot from each other. Definitely, I would say.
Okay.